Okay, so it never fails. Right before I make a video, whether it's a cooking video or an itty bitty book video for, health and to offer health and wellness tips, or a stretching video, corrective stretching, or exercise conscious movement video, I get a little nervous, which is probably good because if I didn't, then maybe I would be disconnected to my body parts. But here I am in my kitchen and I'm going to bring you a food video today. So I'm gonna make a beautiful, healthy, super green salad, and I'm gonna I'm gonna saute some pear and a leftover apple, and then I'm gonna put on top of the salad some sprouted walnuts and some diced raw cherimoya. All right, so let's get started. So let's see. How can I do this? Because the light is in the background. I will angle the camera down here because all you need to see right now is really my, actually, you need to see my ingredients. So that said, one of these days I'm going to have a freaking camera crew here. I'll show you the ingredients first, okay? So as we're making a salad, the first thing I'm going to use is one of my favorite salad products. Why is it my favorite? Because it's definitely easy to use. You don't have to deal with big old heads of lettuce or romaine or red leaf lettuce. And that said, you don't have to rinse and pat dry the leaves. It's very convenient. They come in these little plastic containers. This is by a company called Organic Girl, and it's, as you can see, but if you're not reading, I'll share it with you. They're the protein greens. So in this particular container, and often they have different items in it. Oh yeah, this has a sweet pea sprouts, sweet pea leaves, baby spinach, baby bok choy, baby kale. What else? A couple other things. One I can't pronounce, but anyway, I know they're good. I've eaten them before. Very healthy, super protein greens. Rah! Anyway, okay, so there's that. And then the other thing I'm going to add is by watercress. All of this stuff is organic, don't you know? I have Pete's Living Greens watercress. And the reason why I like this brand in particular is because you get the actual whole leaf. So see that? See? All the roots are attached to the beautiful, fresh, clean dirt, organic dirt. And this is really optimally live. If you're not growing it yourself, this is the second best thing. So, and you know, I want to say something. One of the biggest debates out there is debate over veganism and vegetarianism and carnivorism, isms, whatever, schisms. Anyway, the point is point I'm trying to make is people, don't kid yourself. You may be a vegan or vegetarian and not want to eat animal protein, something with eyes, for ethical reasons. This is live, okay? So we all eat, maybe not all of us, but many of us eat living food. Okay, so this is a part of a vegetarian vegan diet. It's alive. So one of the most important things to me, based on my Native American heritage and culture and bloodline and my own spiritual path, is I honor and bless the food, whether it's the plant spirits, the animal spirits in my bone broth here, my beautiful bone broth in the crock pot. You can't see it, but maybe you can. That's all animal spirit in there. So that's all I ask is why can't we all just get along? Let's just honor each other in the space that we're in. And if that means you're going to eat greens, I ask that you consider blessing your food and praying over the spirit of that plant, because it was alive before you brought it and put it on your table. Or it's alive right now. So anyway, that's my little social commentary. So let me anger, woohoo, Freudian slip. Ooh, I just said anger. Okay, maybe there's a small part of me that gets triggered when people get dogmatic about their beliefs. Maybe kind of how I am right now. But anyway, let's get back to the food. Let's shift the energy here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my my heat on my stainless steel pan. And one of these days, I'm going to turn on medium high. One of these days, I'm going to make a video explaining what the differences and importance is, are the importance of various types of pans. Cast iron versus ceramic versus, what is that other stuff? I can't even remember. Stainless steel versus, anyway. So I always use stainless steel, one of the healthiest. So there's my pan, it's being heated. I've got, again, a little bit of coconut oil. Nice tone there. You don't have to use coconut oil. Some people really don't like it because it's too coconutty. I actually love it and prefer it. It's a great oil to cook with, but you can also use clarified butter, unless you're a vegan, of course. And this is a great brand, Organic Valley clarified butter, Organic Valley ghee. Ghee is also used in a lot of Indian cooking. So anyway, those are the two oils I prefer. Sometimes I prefer duck fat, but I don't have any right now. I ran out. So I'm going to put a little bit of the oil in the pan, and probably about, I don't know, probably start with about a tablespoon. This is actually pretty empty. Woohoo! What good does that do me? Actually, that was slippery. I will get my backup. Whenever I have big containers of oil, I put them into smaller containers because they're easier to use. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of oil in this pan to heat, okay? Coconut oil. And while that's heating, I'll let it heat on low. Heat up on low, because if it gets too high, it'll kind of start to smoke and then it'll cook the pears too quickly. Yeah, so now let's go to the pears. So angle the camera again. A little bit of apple. This is a leftover apple. I don't want to throw it away, so I'm going to cut a few pieces and put it in with my salad. So let's see here. I think I'm going to start on this end. Like I said, I am not a professional chef, but I know not to get my fingers in the way, and I know how to hold a knife. It's kind of like right about here at the end, so you have more control over it as opposed to way down there. So more control over here. My fingers are going to hold with my kind of the tips, with getting the fingertips out of the way, and I'm kind of bending at the knuckle a little bit. So I'm just going to make a little slice right about like that. This piece here, it looks too good not to eat. So, take a bite of that. Anyway, so I'm just going to cut a few slices. Okay, see this little piece right here? That's the butt. The end of the pear. Probably don't want that. I don't like to eat that. Look, it looks like it's a little hairy butt. See little butt cheeks? Anyway, never mind. Gee whiz. Well, they say our two biggest attachments are sex and food. This would be the food part, and that could have been the sex part. Anyway, so back to this. I trimmed it off. See, I trimmed off the little booty part with the little pieces of what will look like hair. And I'm not going to trim all that out because I actually like it. So let me trim off this end. That piece I'll eat. No. Okay. So where was I? Back here. So you want to be careful so you don't get your fingers in the way. So as you can see, I cut them in little slices, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them lengthwise. Because I think they'll look pretty in the salad lengthwise. So just kind of take it, just cut it down the middle. I mean, you can get fancier. You could even cut it in, like, you know, thinner sticks. So when you make your salad, if you don't eat everything before you make it, you can kind of make it fancier. But anyway, and the other thing I'm going to do, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to leave the seeds in there. Okay? I'll tell you what, the professional chefs probably wouldn't do that, because we are taught to believe, as we are programmed to believe, that this little part right here, the seeds and that inner part, is yucky, ugly. Well, screw that. You know what? This is actually the freaking healthiest part. So I'm going to leave it in there. And actually, it's better to eat it raw, but since I'm going to saute these for my salad, I'm not going to eat it raw. And I decided I'm not going to, actually just had a brain fart, so bear with me. I'm not going to use my apple. I'm going to save it for later, because I've got the pears, which I'm going to saute and bring the natural sweetness out. And then I have these two bad boys, the cherimoyas, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. Let me just put my apple away. So I don't want it to get brown. So I'm going to put it face down on a piece of paper towel in my refrigerator. Okay? Alright, so the pears are done. You know me, I like to clean up, so give me a second here as I rinse my knife off and put that aside for now. Alright, now let's angle the camera this way. Camera crew. Ay, 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 Dios mío, as my mother would say. Oh my God. Alright, so there we go. I'm going to put my sleeves down now, even though I'm a little warm, because you never know, I'm working with hot oil, so I want to have my arms protected. And see, it's starting to smoke, so it's way ready. So now I'm going to turn it all the way on low, because if you could see that, there's some smoke coming off the pan. So it's a little hot. Okay, so you see how I stirred the oil around? Just in case something gets stuck on the side, there's some oil there to help dislodge it. So anyway, there's the oil. I'm going to bring my sliced pears over, and I'm going to just gently place them in here. I don't know, maybe this way. And then when you put them in, you want to direct them away from you, because if you direct them towards you, your body, especially with hot oil, that hot oil can splat onto you. So you want to direct them away. These are like floating all over the place in here. They're moving around. They have a mind of their own. Okay, and they're splatting a little bit, and the reason why is because they have some water. Oops, no, that was a freaking mistake. It slipped out of my hands. I don't mean for you. Now you know why I wear long sleeves. I didn't mean to drop it. It just slipped. But I was going to say that they're splatting because they have water in them, natural water. So, of course, oil and water do not mix. So let me scoot that over and just drop the rest of these in there. Well, not drop them, place them. How's that? All right. So these are going to hang out for a little while, and because there is a part of me that's kind of obsessive compulsive, I'm going to kind of tidy up a little bit because some of that oil smushed around. So I'm just going to wipe up the excess oil for now. All right, so we're going to ignore these guys for a little bit because they're in the pan, happily being sauteed. And what happens when you take a piece of fruit like this, whether it's a pear or an apple, persimmon, whatever, which I love, and you cook it like this on a pan, like lightly saute it, what you're doing is you're actually, the heat is bringing out the more natural flavors from the, more natural sugars from the fruit. And so it's called caramelization. So these are being caramelized in the pan, all right? So let's go back here, and I want to show you what else I have. I have this beautiful little bag here. Can you see those? Yeah. I'll pick them up. Beautiful bag of sprouted walnuts. Okay. I have discovered that I love walnuts. That they're also good to put in salads. So I'm going to take these and dump them on my cutting board. While these are still cooking away, the pears. I'm going to put them on like a little higher than low. So kind of medium low, okay? You don't want them too high because then they'll really get sugary and they'll burn. So anyway, the cool thing about walnuts is that walnuts, as with everything in this salad, they're very healthy. So look at that. Now I want you to look actually here. So here are my sprouted walnuts. Normally I sprout them myself, or actually soak them overnight and then let them dry out, or you can dehydrate them. And why is that? Because they are nuts. All nuts and legumes have what's called phytates. And phytates are like enzyme inhibitors, so they don't allow you to absorb other natural healthy nutrition from other foods. So they'll enzyme inhibitors, so they keep them away. So you want to sprout them, okay? More bioavailability with the lovely nutrients. So that's why these are sprouted walnuts. I bought them at the grocery store sprouted. They're real expensive. They're like 14 bucks a pound when you buy them sprouted. But I just bought a small handful because I didn't want to sprout them. I was just lazy. What the hell? What can I tell you? I was lazy. But anyway, the cool thing about walnuts is if you look at the food, and you won't find any whole ones in here because I took them out and ate them yesterday. But here's an example of what a whole walnut looks like. I'm just going to take these two halves and put them together. Look at that. What does that look like to you? Yeah, it looks like a frickin' brain, right? Okay, so here's a little bit of information about walnuts as I stuff my face with them. Walnuts are very healthy. All right, are you ready for this? Men, brothers out there, you should be eating more walnuts. You know why? Because walnuts improve the vitality and quality of your sperm. It's true! Not that I need that, but it also helps reduce cancer risks, prostate cancer and breast cancer. So that said, ladies, sisters, increase your walnut intake, okay? If you can, if you like them, eat more of them. Men, if you're gonna have higher quality super sperm, you're probably gonna have more powerful and beautiful babies. So anyway, isn't that amazing? I just discovered that. I didn't know that they were sperm food too. But anyway, they're also great antioxidant. Excuse me. They're 100% daily recommended plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, so great source of omega-3 fatty acids. And once again, they're brain food, okay? So, powerful antioxidants. So that's why it's great to have beautiful walnuts in your salad, or just eat them raw after you sprout them and dehydrate them, of course. So these I'm just gonna rough chop. They're kind of already broken up, but I'm gonna make them just a little smaller. Once again, holding my knife down right here, and then getting my frickin' fingers out of the way. And then just kind of rough. You could even just go like this. Put your hand over the knife, like flat, hold it at the end, and just kind of rotate, you know, across. Like that, and then turn them around or move them around and do the other side. Very gently, you don't have to make anything wild and crazy. So that's going to be enough. I don't want them too small because then they turn into walnut dust in my salad, which is still good, but I prefer like that. Okay, so that's it. Well, let's move this over here for a second. That's it for the walnuts right now. Let's turn the camera back over here, and let me flip these back as I roll my sleeves down again. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh yeah. Somebody heard me sing. They said I should not quit my day job. That's okay. I can laugh. I can laugh at parts of myself because I know parts of myself believe it. I do not have a luscious, beautiful voice, but that's okay. My heart is pure, and I still enjoy singing, whether you like my voice or not. It really doesn't matter because I like it. How weird would that be if I didn't like myself? And some people, hey, a lot of people don't like themselves. But anyway, I can tell you what, I really like the way these pears look. Look at that. Aren't they gorgeous? They look like kind of sweet potato fries. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the heat off. And you know the rule of thumb, brothers and sisters, I'm turning the heat off because that pan is still very hot, and it will continue to cook the pears a little longer. Because in this case, although I do love my experience of fresh, raw, crunchy pears, in the case of my salad today, I'd like them a little softer, a little more naturally sweet, and that's why I'm going to leave them in there to cook a little longer. So coming back here to the cutting board, let's talk about you. Just kidding. All right, let's talk about the cherimoya. So what do I know about cherimoyas? Not a whole hell of a lot. So truth be told, I had to do a little bit of research online. They smell so good. I have eaten them before. Now, these are actually very, very ripe. Part of me is wondering if they're too ripe, so we'll find out. Because the ones I have eaten have been greener, kind of like this color green, right? That color green cherimoya. But they were really hard, the green ones. So I thought, shit, I'm just going to get the real ripe ones and work with those. Because I knew I was going to make a salad out of them. So cherimoyas are from Ecuador and Peru. So they are considered a tropical fruit, all right? They have, in my experience, a very rich, creamy inside. Like the cherimoya fruit meat is very rich and creamy. And I can't even explain the smell. It smells very tropical. It makes me want to just strip my clothes off and roll around the backyard and pretend like I'm on a desert island. At the beach, on a beach island. The neighbors would probably scream and cry and beg me to stop, but anyway, so they're very high in fiber. They have, they also have a lot of iron. They contain cytotoxins, which is said to help fight cancer, all right? And they're anti-parasitic, so they help fight and get rid of parasites in the body and malaria, which kind of makes sense because that's how amazing Great Spirit is, God. These, or Goddess, Great Spirit, Divine Source, Energy Healing, whatever. To me, they're all the same. But anyway, before I get off on that subject, it's amazing to me that these were created and are grown in the tropics. What do you have in the tropics? You have a lot of malaria cases and parasites. So if you just have some stomach issues and you got to get rid of this parasite, what do? You pick off a cherimoya from the tree, freaking eat it, eat your fair share, and it'll help heal the body. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it not amazing how amazing fruits are? Food, healing food, not junk food, not shit, but high vibrational healing food. There's a reason for it. So I thought that was pretty cool. High in vitamin C, vitamin A, and B6. And this is the other thing I learned about cherimoya. I had no idea that these are actually kind of like considered a feel-good food too, because they elicit the feeling of well-being, tranquility, anti-depression, anti-anxiety. So, if you don't want to smoke any ganja or have a cocktail, have one of these. They're better for you. I don't know, ganja's pretty damn good. It's a superfood. But anyway, my grandmother used to use marijuana. She was a healer, and she used to use, when she got, what is it called? Glaucoma later in her life, in her 90s, freaking A, actually earlier, but into her 90s, she was drinking marijuana tea. Hell yeah, because it was relieving the pressure and the pain in her eyes, behind her eyes, from the glaucoma. So food is meant to be healing, as long as we're eating high vibrational, pure, clean, healthy, organic food, okay? So that's pretty cool. If you're depressed or stressed out, suck one of these down and see what happens. After my salad, I'll probably be all mellow and, but anyway. All right, what else? Oh, I did learn that in Mexico, because these are also grown in Mexico, they use them for very powerful health and healing. And one of the things that they do, which I thought was pretty cool, they make a grease paste and cherimoya compound. Poultice is what they're called, poultice. When you mix like a thick matter with an herb and you pack it on the skin or something. And then they use it to kill lice. So anyway, all right, so enough of that. Let me cut it in half and see what it looks like. Because honestly, my guess is as good as yours. Has it gone overripe, and is it too overripe to eat? We'll find out. So, all right, well, that's not a good example of one because yes, it did go a little overripe, but there is still some stuff there that I'm gonna damn well savage. I ain't gonna toss that and throw it away. I'll cut around it. Ah, okay. This one's a little more normal what it was supposed to look like. And you know what the kind of interesting thing is? They remind me of dragon fruit. Dragon fruit has these big seeds too. So I don't think I'm going to be eating these seeds because what I discovered was these particular seeds, when ground into a powder, they can elicit vomiting. So I don't need a purga, I don't need to purge. If I did, maybe I'd chomp some of those seeds. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, first time I'm ever working with these, so bear with me. I'm going to use my smaller paring knife, and I'm just going to cut, I also have my wet towel over, my trusty little wet towel. So I'm going to just trim some pieces off, kind of like this. I just want some of the mushy part because I'm going to just stick it in my salad. Wow, there's a lot of seeds in there. That's right. That's why it's better in part to just take it in your mouth and kind of do this. Well, let me cut it in half first. Take that seed out. And that seed. And that seed too. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. It does really remind me of dragon fruit. So I guess what you could do, this is the way I've tasted cherimoya before. Not a brown one though, a green one. And after the seeds were plucked out, you just wow. Yeah. So see, you just gotta take the seeds out. Hell, if you're on a freaking tropical island and you're wearing your butt floss or your trunks or your Speedos, men, or you're naked, you wouldn't be worried about picking it out with a fork and a spoon, and you would just pick that off the tree and that's the best way. So anyway, probably not a good example in terms of putting it in my salad, but I'll scrape some pieces out. Wow. Lots of seeds. Lots of big seeds. I won't show you, but trust me on that one. Let me rinse my hands, my fingers. I'll be right back. Okay, so anyway, that's a little bit about the cherimoya. Let me get them off the cutting board for now because I want to take do something else. I want to scrape this off here. I don't want to waste any of this beautiful cherimoya. So I'm just going to stick it on the plate for now. I want to move these off the cutting board because I want to move over the greens and show you how we put this together, the salad, okay? So here's my trusty salad board. You've seen it 101 times if you watch my food cooking videos. There it is. And I have a glass one so you can see through it. So what I do is I just open up these bad boys. Wipe that off with a towel. Ugh. Okay, look at all those beautiful vibrant greens. Yippee-ki-yay, Batman. So I just take a little handful, depending on the size of salad. I'm not going to do too big because I've got a cup of bone broth over there with my lunch, and I also, yeah, I'm not going to just do a big one. So I'm just going to do a small one. So I'll just do like a small handful. Now this is all the super greens with all the baby goodies in it. They're very vibrant life force. So that's about enough of that. Now I'm going to take the beautiful watercress that I showed you earlier. And all I'm going to do is just pluck them off out of the bag like this at the root here from the dirt. So thank you, plant spirits. Thank you, thank you, thank you, plant spirits. So I've gotten a small handful of watercress. See those? So with these, I'm not going to rinse these at all. I'm just going to toss them up like this. Already thanked with my heart space of beautiful plant spirits. And then I'm going to kind of mix those up a little bit just to get them mixed amongst themselves, blended. And you know what? You want to use your hands if you can. Tell you what, in the kitchen, in professional kitchens, they're not using all the time tongs and forks and knives. They're using their fingers. They're getting their hands in there, especially when you toss salads, mixed salads. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get a couple of paper plates or paper towels because this part gets a little messy. This, brothers and sisters, is my homemade salad dressing. And once again, if you've watched my videos, you know I always make a homemade salad dressing with my salads. I don't buy any salad dressing store-bought because none of them compare to my delicious, wholesome salad dressing. So I'm shaking it up. Okay, so what's in here? What is in here is, I've got some extra virgin olive oil. I have this lovely brand. Got that at Mother's Market. I have a splash of this beautiful Bordeaux cherry balsamic vinegar from Italy. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Actually, I just drink it like a shot, sometimes one every day. And then I also put in some raw apple cider vinegar. I also add some raw organic honey from the local farmer's market. And then I add some organic cinnamon because I love the cinnamon flavor and it's nice for insulin levels. And then I add some cracked herbs. So that's all the salad dressing is. So let me just shake it up here in the background. And then I'm gonna take my spoon and pour a little bit out a little bit. Sometimes I pour it like that, but I don't know, I just feel like scooping some out. So it's already blended in there. And that's really nice. If you could just make a salad dressing in like a little simple jar like this, then whenever you want to use it, you just shake it up and go. It's very convenient. I keep it in my refrigerator. Every single day there's fresh, pretty much fresh salad dressing in there. And sometimes if I don't want the whole salad, I'll just have a spoon of dressing because it's so yummy and healing. Okay, so that's probably enough. That was about 4 teaspoons. If I put more than that, it would be too soggy. I don't want it real soggy. And you got to kind of clean the top because it gets a little greasy. So put that back on. So there's a salad dressing in there. Then I'm going to add a few sprinkles of organic ground cinnamon just because I like it. Then, remember I talked about using the hands? Oh yeah, that tastes good. So here you go. Don't be shy. Using the hands. Get them in there. It's a nicer way to mix food up. Well, especially when you're working with salads and you're just mixing up big portions or a portion for yourself. So, that's all. Look at how easy that was. See? That's all. It's mixed so nicely now because I've gotten my fingers in there with the food. So the next thing I'm going to do, here's a little blob of cherimoya that I scooped out. I didn't want to waste it. I'm just going to plate it like this. Stick it in the middle of the plate. Okay. And don't go anywhere because I'm going to go wash my fingers as I lick a couple of them. Okay? Hang on. Of course. Gotta rinse my hands and pat them dry. So, now you have the salad on the plate. So remember those beautiful walnuts? I'm just going to put a few kind of around. I can stick them right in the middle too, like a little mound of them. And then, remember those beautiful sauteed pears that are nicely caramelized and toasty on the ends? Also, I forgot to tell you the cool thing about this. The bitchin' thing about this is that coconut oil that I use is now infused with beautiful pear nectar. The juice and the sweetness from the pear is in that oil. So you don't want to waste that. You could also, what I'll do is I'll save that oil, then I'll add it back to my salad dressing. So then I have this beautiful pear oil, fresh pear oil flavor in my salad dressing. Okay, so let's go back to the salad prep. All right, so then this is cool enough. I'm just gonna take pieces out like this, and I'm gonna place them on my plate. And yeah, I'll kind of make it a little pretty. Don't think I'm just making it pretty for you. I'm making it pretty for me. I am so worth having a beautiful salad that looks gorgeous. Okay, so let's see. I can add maybe a couple more. Those thinner pieces that I cut. Okay, so see, this is all leftover, and there's some nice oil in there. I'll save that for later when I'm off camera. Now, as I decided to make this salad, I really thought I had all the ingredients. I'm gonna say this salad is 99.9% perfect. You know why it's not 100% perfect? Because I frickin' forgot the goat cheese. Goat cheese and pears are beautiful combinations. Although this is perfect for vegans and vegetarians. Or you can get that vegan cheese, vegan goat cheese. But I wouldn't recommend it because it's got cashews in it. Anything with cashews is really not healthy for you. Cashews are toxic. In case you didn't know, vegans, cashew spread, cashew cheese, toxic. Please look it up. So, all right, now, so I'm gonna add a little more of the walnuts on top to make it even look more artistic. And then I'm going to see if I can get another nice little blob of the cherimoya. And like I said, the best way to eat the cherimoya is just pop it in your mouth and suck out the seeds. Kind of like when you're eating sunflower seeds. You just put the whole sunflower seed in your mouth and eat the seed and spit out the shell. Not that you would spit out this shell, but it's just easier just to take a bite in your mouth and suck out the fresh, beautiful cherimoya meat. So anyway, that's it. Okay, just because I'm going to add this right on top. So let's look at the finished product even closer, and I'll bring it into some better light, I think. There you have it. Look at that. See? I think that light's okay. Isn't that beautiful? See? It's a beautiful super green salad with sprouted walnuts. Well, you saw? Oh my God. This is a long freaking video. It's almost 38 minutes. I better go. But wait, you have to watch me eat it. That's the rule, right? You always got to watch me eat it. So hold on. Please. All right. So, here. Voila. Look at that. That's freaking gourmet. If you come over to my house for dinner, you're going to eat beautiful food like this. Ask Miriam and Nico. They just spent a whole weekend, 2 different weekends with me. Did we not eat very high vibrational, beautiful, wholesome, organic, lovely, tasty food? Yes, indeed. So here I go. So I'm just going to break the beautiful patterns here of this salad. And I'm going to scoop some onto my plate, my fork, with a little bit of creamy cherimoya there on top. Okay. Thank you, Great Spirit, for blessing me with this beautiful food. Bless yourself. Make yourself the salad. See you soon. Thanks.